like Christmas Eve night. What is his name? Damn. I'll have to look it up again, but I can't remember what his name is. But
is he a YouTuber?
Little Wayne Morlock.
I don't know what that is.
Wayne Morlock. That's what his name is.
Oh, okay.
Well, it was Christmas Eve, and he showed up out of the blue, drunk as fuck.
At your house?
At our house, he showed up here, drunk as shit. And he tried to talk Donnie into going into town with him. And, he was high on fucking dope and everything.
Wow.
And I was like, I'm not going to town with you. Little Wayne Morlock, you can look him up. He'll be on the internet.
Okay.
He molested a kid that was 18 years old and threw him outside on a freaking ditch line on his deathbed. And then there's a lot more information on him too.
Do you think he had something to do with Summer?
Well, Donnie said when Summer went missing that he went over to his house.
Dawn went over to this guy's house?
Yeah.
Huh. Why would he do that?
I don't know.
That's kind of odd.
There's a lot of unanswered questions that I want answered, but I can't ask them of Donnie because he'll flip out.
Right. Do you think he could have took Summer over there?
No. I don't think Donnie did it.
Right.
But I think that there's someone that Donnie knows.
That did?
That little Wayne Morlock.
I don't know what that is.
Wayne Morlock molested a kid that was 18 years old.
Now, see, it was bad enough she name dropped that shit anyway. And that she just lied and tried to say that he's a child molester, molested the kid, and beat him and threw him out of road is even fucking worse. That's a fucking lie. That's a fucking lie. The story is that, and we, obviously all live in the community. And I think the newspaper even reads.
Rogersville, a Hawkins County man accused of throwing his drinking buddy out of a car earlier this year, putting the victim in a coma and possibly causing permanent brain damage, was arrested this week on a sealed indictment warrant. Wayne Douglas Morlock, 44, 131 Harris Hollow Road, Rogersville, was indicted June 1 by a Hawkins County grand jury on one count of aggravated assault stemming from an attack alleged to have occurred on March 21. Hawkins County Sheriff's Office Detective Keith Long said Morlock admitted to punching Jeffrey Adams in the head with the back of his hand 5 to 6 times that night while they were driving along Van Hill Road in the Beech Creek community. However, police suspect that Adams was thrown from a moving vehicle due to the severity of his injuries. Morlock was driving around 9:40 p.m. that night, and Adams was in the passenger seat. Morlock reportedly stated that both men were both highly intoxicated at the time, having consumed some Beech Creek moonshine. Morlock reportedly stated that Adams was putting his hand on Morlock's arm and laughing and wouldn't remove his hand when told to do so. Morlock allegedly said that after Adams refused to remove his hand after 3 or 4 requests, he struck Adams with the back of his hand 5 to 6 times. But Morlock denies throwing Adams from the moving vehicle. Adams was discovered at the intersection of Beech Creek Road and Van Hill Road by an occupant of a vehicle that had been traveling behind Morlock. The driver of that vehicle saw Morlock's tail lights, and reportedly observed him pull out of the intersection rather fast before the witness found Adams injured on the side of the road. Mr. Morlock said they had been involved in a fight inside the car, and he stopped and got out, walked around the side of the car and pulled him out of the car and left him there, Long said. With the severity of the injuries it would stand to reason he was thrown out of a moving vehicle, but we can't prove that 100%. Adams was in a coma for 3 weeks after the incident and is currently in a nursing home, where he remains unable to communicate or care for himself. Long said the incident created an uproar in the Beech Creek community among people who wanted instant justice against Morlock. "We held off on the charges because we didn't know if Mr. Adams was actually going to survive," Long said. His injuries that were reported by the hospital were very severe. He had an occipital bone fracture and another bone in the back of his skull that was fractured. The way they described it to us was like a car wreck when your brain bounces around in your skull. An attempted murder charge was considered, but Long said the Attorney General's office felt they wouldn't be able to prove intent, that he meant to kill Adams. However, Long said Adams' injuries are too severe to have been caused by the back of Morlock's hand. "We're going to have a lot more medical opinion than we've got now," Long said. There was a huge uproar in the community about this case, and it started with a friend of the family. They wanted instant justice, and we weren't prepared at that time to take any action. I explained to the victims' family what was going on and the reason for the delay, and they agreed with that. Aggravated assault is a Class C felony punishable by 3 to 6 years for a standard offender, although Morlock has previous robbery and aggravated assault convictions on his record which could enhance sentencing if he is found guilty. Morlock was arrested Wednesday, and as of Friday was being held in the Hawkins County Jail on $30,000 bond pending arraignment in criminal court on August 31st.
As such, somebody touched Morlock one or too many times on the arm, and he felt some type of way about that and told the guy not to do that. This was a grown adult, and they were drinking buddies, and you know. Anyway, he felt some type of way about that particular night, and in 3 or 4 hits to the head, he put this particular person in a coma, tossed him out in the ditch line. I'm not going to touch on that much more than that. But what he is not is some person like Candus just made him out to seem, and I don't know what the fuck Candus is thinking. I really don't. The same sort of parts of the family with the land sales and things right there. At this point, they have falsely put Frank into some shit. They've named all kinds of people from in that community. But that one in particular, she just tried to put Morlock out there as some sort of essayer or oh my god, and is not. And that was his thing, as you can clearly, eventually, I don't know, like I'm telling you, is that he has some strong feels about another dude touching him for more than 2 seconds and put them into a coma in 3 or 4 hits. So yeah, I'd say it's the opposite if he did something to another person and, all the, that Candus just made it out to seem like, and then threw him in a ditch. But, yeah, that she just put that on Morlock's name probably is not a good man. Yeah. Dude. Ouch. See, that's what I'm saying. They're just trying to throw anybody under the motherfucking bus, smack community, anything. Anybody else twisting around where everybody's like touching everybody, all this false bullshit, blah, blah, blah. Right? Anybody. Even if it hadn't been put out yet. That they've said it or thrown other community members and things under the bus. Wrongly calling them touchers or anything else. That ain't gonna sit well with the type that. Ow. Oh dear. Anyway, As if that wasn't enough reasons to, like, flee to Mexico. Now it's out there, and she is somehow connected more like to Don, and implying he may have had something to do with Summer. Y'all, I'd probably be my ass in Arkansas, Mexico, or across the ocean to Larry. I think what she means to say is that Don potentially had, you know what? I gotta tell you, one of my first thoughts that day, for reasons, was, Don's had reasons, and coming here and took some. Right? But then as things move forward, you're like, well, how in the fuck? And then sometimes you have to wonder, did people maybe have somebody they knew? Right? The problem is, you see, why did she need to preface that? Because that's not true of that person. That's not what happened in that incident. But she makes this person that it's a lie. And then, so there's no reason to even say it, but she says it anyway, right? And then she says, well, Dawn went and visited this person today, Summer. Yeah. Alright. So, but then she says, no, I don't think that person's involved. She makes it seem like it might be. She's wanting whoever she's talking to, whisper it out, so somebody else inside of that community is blamed again, while also being like, well, it's definitely somebody Dawn knows, though, that took Summer. Not that person I just made up lies about and threw under the fucking bus as another, here you go, pile of shit, jello, slinging mud, whatever. No. I don't think they are involved at all. After she definitely is like, can't wait on, and makes up some shit so the world runs with it. And terrorizes the fuck out of them and their families and things. No. And she's like, well, I think it's definitely somebody don't know. And notice, in there, she said you can find him online. So that clearly tells me she does know. She has looked up the newspaper article and shit, just like everybody else. Everybody in the community knew that had happened. Same shit, different day in Beech Creek. But, thing is, that tells me she clearly knew what she was saying about him was a lie. That incident had nothing to do with him being touchy-feely or a molester or anything else. It was him feeling some type of way about somebody touching him, and when he said, don't touch me, they touched him again, and he put him in a coma in about 3 hits. And left him in the ditch. So she clearly knew what she was saying about him was a lie to this person. She made him seem sus. Says Dawn visited him this day, so that's to imply he might have something to do with. Then she says, well, I think somebody Dawn knew had something to do with it. Not this guy. But I'd also like to talk to him, she says. But I can't do that, she says. You see how it's back and forth?
At our house, he showed up here, drunk as shit. And he tried to talk Donnie in.
Now, let me tell you, that is not an unknown event around Candus and Dawn's. There are all kinds of people that show up over fucked up shit through the years. drunk as hell, whatever. It's like a nightly thing, so don't let Candus act like she's shocked by that. I know the YouTuber whoever's talking to her might be, but ain't nobody else. Alright, so, I'm all like, why, man? Like, why? I'm surprised that all kinds of folks show up at your door. That's so nonsensical, man. They just got the diabetes on everybody, bro. The diabetes on everybody. But she can't ask him on Donnie because he'll flip out. And I'm pretty sure she means Dawn will flip out. Maybe. Either way. Yeah. Man. Is there anybody around here but the people they actually like? Seriously, they make everybody else touchers and this and that and the other and sus and everybody else is whatever and everybody else is responsible for something. But you never hear them call out their own or all their fucking branches and shit on both their trees and the people they've hung out with each for decades, long before they ever came to Tennessee and things, that all be touching each other far too much. Far too much. Everybody around these two their whole lives been touching everybody else. Shouldn't be touching things. We've been through this. But then they make everybody who aren't touchers and such touchy-feely types and make everybody else look sus. But then at the heart of the matter, really what you have here is Candus somewhat throwing Dawn under the bus, too. She says nope, even though she's given the world and she knows it by this point enough to start looking at this person, saying shit, attacking them, terrorizing, just like she did Frank and others, Now Frank did what he did, whatever. Okay, I ain't defending Frank, but they put him in here as a, just look over there person, But, she knows what she's done. She's given enough to go fuck with, terrorize another person. Then she does, it's like, well, no. But, girl, you just did. You gave enough, just like you did on everybody else, and twisted and lied about them to get people curious and start them going, So then backing it up by saying, I was like, nah, you know what you just did. If she didn't think this person had anything to do with Summer, then she shouldn't have been mentioning their damn name to begin with. To YouTube world, people recording her. She knows how this shit went by December. Oh, she definitely did. Huh. I don't know, man. I mean, in a way, I don't know why she just... let's be real here. Some days I just want to look at her and be like, but... who has the habit of always keeping one prize? Who always has the habit of taking one kid? Who has that habit, though, really? I'm just gonna put that there. I'm just gonna put it there. What I'm telling you is the only traffic was at your house. Tell him about your ties to Fred, Dawn. Tell him about your Knoxville runs that supplied fucking Ben Hill, Dawn.